Hello there, everyone. How are you doing this full moon? It's the other night, because we have so much smoke here in Montana in the air at the moment from all the wildfires. The orange was quite literally like this bright freaking orange. It was like quite intensely orange. Like, wow, holy smoke. Get rid of that smoke. Sick of smoke. It's like everyone's coughing, everyone's eyeballs are burning. But yeah, so if I think, are we properly full? Grab my cup. Okay, so proper fullness occurs on Wednesday, according to my Llewellyn calendar, and we will be in the shadow of Mercury retrograde at that point, people. So I believe Mercury retrograde formally ends on the 5th, then we head into the shadow for about a week, and then we're out of it until, I think, we have one in December this year. I think we do. We do. Until, like, I think 3rd of December. Yay! Very happy about that. Always just kind of a time where I make sure I get my rest more than anything else. And this August one tends to be with eclipses. You had 2 eclipses with the lunar and the solar, and then along with the Lionsgate portal on the 8th of August. Oh yeah, it's been an intense one. So there's also a Mercury retrograde wrap-up light transition on SoundCloud, and I'll link that below and write myself a note. Use that. Link MRI. Just too much smoke inhaled. It's like stupidness has occurred. Perma headache. Yeah. Ugh. Okay, so this month, this moon, we are using the Heart of Fairy and Dame Darcy for our cards. What is coming up in the world? In my world, there are still affirmation decks available if you are looking for Christmas present for yourself or someone else. Pop on over, pick one up. They're on the website. What else is coming up? Get Crystal, which is, I call it a beast of a reading because it's huge. You get your tarot year card for this year and the next year. You gotta know where you've been, and then you know where you're going. And you get your life, your soul cards, basically your life and personality card, or cards, depending on what numbers you get. And then you get a 13 card intuitive reading on top of like all that information, plus your guide card, thought prompts, affirmation card. It's a beast of a reading, and you got a whole year to work with it. And it's really like this little roadmap to help you figure out where you're going energetically. It's not so much like you're month 1, month 2. It's very intuitive. So you just kind of reread it and it's like, where are you in that reading? At that point in time, you can put it to work. And believe me, people, the life cards, not the life cards, excuse me, well, life cards, yes. Those make a lot of sense. It's like, mine is, my personality card is the Emperor, and my soul card is the Fool. So basically, people who will like merely follow me off the cliff, because I'm the leader, and I'm also like on my own journey, and everyone's following, and boom. But the year cards, oh man. They'll come for you whether you know you have them or not. They're very, very helpful to know as you're navigating, going through things in the next year. But that's going to be going on special coming up at the end of November. I mean, it's still ways off, but start thinking about it and getting ready for next year. I always kind of about September is when I start thinking about what's my word of the year going to be. How am I going to start transitioning out of the Chariot, which is my current year card, into the Lovers? How's that going to look? So It's that kind of stuff that really helps me do what I do and navigate what I do and how I do it. Okay, let's pull a card. Ooh, Lord of the Forest. Lord of the Forest. So, what's he saying to you? What's the call of the wild coming to you? What is the call of the wild saying? Can you stop and listen to the trees rustle? And I'm talking, if you live in the city, there's still trees. There's still forms of forest within cities. You don't gotta be out in the country like me. You don't have to be rural. Find that spot where you can stop and just listen. What do the trees say? What's the forest saying to you? What does the sky hold for you? He holds a lot of empowerment for most people. He's a protector. He's a nurturer. Has no problem seeing both of those roles in one package. How can you bring this in? And I feel like we've been having a little bit more masculine energy as we are heading into the end of the year. We're kicking up a bit more the sacred masculine. How can we bring that into our lives? And it doesn't matter if you're female or male or whatever you identify yourself as. It all has to do with that power of the empowered masculine, of knowing you can protect and nurture, that you can teach how to be a steward. Stewardship with this card is a word that often brings me in mind. How can I be the steward of the earth? How can I be a steward of the forest? How can I take care of what green spaces are around me? You know, and even within cities, there are pockets of greenery. There are pockets that have the forest in them. You ever look at old lot? It's been vacant, how fast things start taking over. That's reclaiming. That's the Lord of the Forest reclaiming his territory. So stewardship often comes up with his energy for me as one word. Where do you need to be a steward? Where do you need to take care of things and foster them and nurture them, protect them? Really looking at how that energy comes in. Things are flying. Things are flying. Okay. Let's figure out what's next. What's next, kids? Interesting. So the first card is the Three of Pentacles. Three of Pentacles and stewardship. It's like, what are you watching? Where are we? What are we looking for? What are we waiting for? What's coming in? How can we foster that? How can we use stewardship to bring in what's coming to us? How can we do that? How can we see it and how can we know it? Three of Wands. It's like, oh, what's the words I'm trying to think of? You know, this guy's waiting. He's waiting for these ships to come in. He's looking, and I feel like there's a bit of the, how can we be a little bit more active than waiting? How can we bring things about a little bit faster in the end of the year? How can we move just a little bit faster? Not a lot. You don't need to go into full throttle crazy. But how can you make things a little bit more active right now as we come out of Mercury retrograde and eclipse season and the Lion's Gate and start moving into, at least in the northern hemisphere, the darker part of the year? There's a certain activity that can start to come in with that fosters and nurtures and is very much active in its passiveness. And I feel like this is a call to how can we use the passive and the active together and not see them as apart. How can we bring those two together and nourish our stewardship and what is coming into our lives? Because we got this dude hanging out too, the King of Pentacles. So where you got stewardship, you got waiting, active waiting. How can you make the passive active? And the King of Pentacles is just sitting down there waiting for us to realize that reception is not always passive, that receiving can be a very active thing, and that to acknowledge that you're receiving is very powerful and empowering. We kind of have this odd reading of stewardship, of the active passive wait, creating action in the passive, and then being secure in ourselves as we receive what is coming to us in this full moon, and not stepping back from it, not pretending it's not happening. We really want to know, and I think that's kind of like why we see this Three of Wands popping up, is that this dude right now is dealing a lot with reception of what you're receiving and seeing that within your life and yourself. And the concept of saying, yes, I see it. This just happened. I got this and that, and all this wonderful stuff is happening that I've been waiting for all this time, and the Three of Wands has finally come. And someone just talked out. That's my train of thought. Oh, brain crap. So we got like this passive part, and this is the part where the action comes in of knowing this and saying, yes, I've been working on this really hard. I have fostered, I've nurtured, I've used my stewardship on this project. I've been waiting for it to come to fruition, and finally it's there in the King of Pentacles. And you really got to acknowledge that. Do your happy dance. Do your little celebration dance. It's like anytime anyone orders any reading for me, I don't care what they're paying for it. Whether it's, a $20 moon reading or $101 for a gate crystal. Anything in between. I do my little happy dance. It's there. Someone just, it makes my day. And you want to acknowledge that kind of stuff. And in a way, it's like being secure in your knowing that what you work on is going to come to fruition. You just got to work on it. And sometimes you got to wait for it to show up. It doesn't always happen overnight. It doesn't always happen in the time frame you want it to. But if you keep using stewardship and fostering and nurturing and protecting it, it's going to happen. That is a really awesome place to be at this full moon, as we're coming into fruition with this moon. It's just a really great place to be. And I haven't done this in a couple moon readings. Let's pull an affirmation card. I keep forgetting. Sometimes it's just that way. And this time I'm not. So here we go. Ooh, I am compassionate. I am compassionate. So what this is saying with this reading of stewardship, of waiting for your hard work to pay off, and acknowledging that payoff. And then we get the affirmation card of I am compassionate. You are nurturing yourself and letting yourself be able to foster and protect, work, and act while still waiting for what's coming your way to come your way. And you have compassion in it, so when it doesn't come in that timeline that you have created, and you're mad because it's not happening fast enough or how you want it to happen, you gotta be compassionate with this, with yourself and with the process. So just let it happen. Foster, nurture, let your ships come in. And remember, you got this. You've been working on it. And that's what the King of Pentacles is telling us. So yeah, really, really nice reading. I wasn't sure where it was going, and then all of a sudden, bam, there it was. Yeah, sometimes when you look at things, you're like, how do these tie together? And that's how I was looking at things. Like, how are they working together? How do they mesh? every once in a while it's like, you get like, oh no. And all of a sudden, bam, there it is. There it is. Okay. Nice reading today. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. I always order okay, I always order a full moon reading. The link's down below. And let's do a little bit of a light transmission before I go. My throat's very dry from all the smoke. Gemma, hadidoro. Heketino così. Cere cani nisa cotoponie kia. Kia kundiko. Zemikate. Zosi si sotistamiti. Mosate de così. Olokana hihu. Hihu hamisa kadalaka nikidorokasi. Chemika chikotisa pe. Penose kadabi tokana. Senikasikin mediti. Chanikitna. Chanarabili. Botichikacho chemisihe. Chamisihe hakini go miki. Mosikadala. Chemihasikini. Chosi so. Kati umma kila kanole. Hemesati. Tikami tulmitata pe. Tatape hukamikitskata pum. Chikapapum meke. Meke kiyisi kilakani konomistata pichate. Pichate hohikisikada mate. Senesa siso sini lami kano. Semeka heka lasi honara kipitala. Semekin gote se mete kete de sekete tikote da tikote tikote cha. Sini kata ho. Benekane seche. Sineche hasikati. Hua. Shua. Semekika la patata po head cha. Menezi hole sinkan doni mesito li caniso hami hana kone bisikitelakatito mose. Thank you very much for watching, and I will be back at the new moon. Much love and the best to you. Bye-bye.